The atmosphere is always amazing. It's electric.
Yeah, I wonder how it's gonna be in the EU here. You know, like I imagine, like I expect the US to like live it up fully again, right? But I wonder if there's maybe gonna be a change in the EU as well, and we're gonna see some bigger events again.
Okay, so we're watching Danubi and
Kimmymochi.
Kimmymochi. Or like
Yes.
the food, the delicious food. Okay, yes.
Like mochi or is
We shall
Kimmymochi a thing?
I'm not sure. Mochi is food, isn't it?
Mochi is. Mochi is delicious. I agree. Mochi is great.
Okay, so what do you think about these teams? Marth and Sheik and Jigglypuff and Falco.
Interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily the most helpful statement, but like Marth Sheik is obviously just a good team, right? Both of those are great characters. One thing that's a bit unusual with them is that I feel like they don't have as clear a role distribution as you might see from other doubles teams,
Definitely
right?
not. They have to have good move choices. When they want to hit, they have to choose the right moves.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, like I feel like that maybe gives them a bit of flexibility that other teams might not have to the same extent. But then you have Falco Jigs, which you've got. I actually have no idea how they're gonna play this. It's a bit of a strange one.
I think Falco Jigs is just really good anyway. Falco's really good at controlling space, and Jigs is really good at taking advantage of.
Yeah. Oh, we got the Falco.
Approaches, things like that. Oh, this is game 2. Okay, so this is a counter pick for Jigglypuff and Falco for Sinflower and Marissa.
Seems like a very reasonable choice, to be honest. I mean, right now it's working the upper stock.
Yeah. Given that Falco is good at controlling space, there's a lot of space on the stage. Jigglypuff does just live forever.
Yeah.
They are keeping a good lead. That's not.
And there isn't really like a great, you know, clean kill option on the Jigglypuff here. So, like for the blue team, so that's something.
They want to be trying to get grabs and then maybe trying to do something like that, but it's still scary because you don't want to hit your teammate if they've grabbed.
Oh, you can see both teams like trying to break each other's formation, but well, it's staying mostly even. Oh,
it looks quite a lot like when Kimmy and Danubi have the space. They're not necessarily holding it quite as well as they should. You know, Marth and Sheik, they're quite good at just reacting to when you want to approach. And see, they've got the space now. They've got the middle, and they're keeping the Falco off. The Jigglypuff is just being annoying here. You know, Marth is really not doing a hell of a lot, and neither is Jigglypuff. But as long as that's a kill on the Marth. How did Jigglypuff die then?
It's actually very even. Look at this. We've got 3 stocks on both sides. One each at very high percentage. And the Falco going to be the first one to go down. Sheik actually struggling a little bit, getting hit by the Marth teammate, making life just a little bit more difficult. But this is where. Go ahead.
Sorry, that was quite a lot of damage on Marissa as well, while Sinflower was dead. That Jigglypuff was jumping on near the top platform. You really want to jump off stage as Jigglypuff while your teammate's recovering.
Wow!
But they managed to get the lead. They really got to play this Falco forward, I think, because obviously Jigglypuff could still die. I mean, not likely to die off a straight hit, but you still don't want to risk it. See, there you go, an up air does it. And
that was beautiful.
It's a 1v1.
Yeah, just sneaking in from below right there. Oh, we've got a little shine counter attack. Falco is at 99, so this is scary.
Oh
and
my goodness, just F smash, just fairs.
Wow.
A bit of bad DI as well there. But,
nice, that was clutch. That was good.
I was not expecting that fair from that position. That was really strange. Maybe that's why the DI was not quite as good as it could have been. But
yeah, I think that was a bit of a read, to be honest, right? I saw that the Falco was like in the middle of an approach, And that's usually, you know, something you do when you expect the opponent to be like,
Yeah,
you
just
know, like kind of a bit more defensive.
fair, short hop fair out of shield, and you get the kill off of it. Not really anything that people, you know, can choose to do consistently. They're not gonna think this is what I should go for every time, but it worked in that position.
Well, very clean. We're gonna be heading into game 3 then. And
I do think there's Sinflower and Marissa really do have a shot to take a game or maybe bring this back.
I mean, that was more than winnable.
Yeah, definitely.
They did really well there. Like that was just. I think honestly, at the end, you just saw that maybe they were a little unpracticed in their coordination in the 2 versus 1, right? Because that's actually something that's. I think it's actually surprisingly difficult. Like if there's 2 of you and 1 of them, what you do? What you gonna do? What's your plan, right? Like how do you approach that? I personally always find it a little bit tricky.
2v1s in doubles as well. A lot of the time you don't want to approach. You have 2 stocks and they only have 1. So you're in the lead, you just don't want to approach. It's all on that one person.
Oh my god! Look at Kimmymochi!
A lot of damage on this Falco.
Kimmymochi absolutely shredding these first few seconds here. Getting a ton of damage on both players and now, you know, keeping the jigs busy, which is beautiful. Yeah. Although we have the red team kind of bouncing back into it as well.
Yeah, they've managed to get a lot of pokes, a lot of like stray hits to get the percent back up.
So Falco doesn't quite manage to. Oh no. No, oh no. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, it's one of those moments where, like, if it was singles, you know, you wait. You don't go in right there. You let the Marth kind of start doing their thing, and then you go for an edge guard. But in doubles, you just don't have that kind of time, so you feel the pressure to immediately make something happen. And well, it didn't quite work out that way.
I think sometimes as well, sending the opponent off stage is good enough a lot of the time, because if you send them off stage, you can then just focus on the other person on the other team. You've got an advantageous position. There's 2 of you. I'd just like to send people off stage sometimes. And then
yeah, have a free trip.
Yeah, not even think about them for 5 seconds.
I mean, that's a good way of approaching it, I think, right? A 2 versus 1, you're stronger. So let's try and create that situation as often as we can. And if that means just having you be away for a bit, cool. I mean, we talked about that earlier with like how Samus takes such a long time to get back to the stage. Maybe the problem with her isn't necessarily that she died, it's more that she can't help during her super long recovery.
Yeah, exactly. In doubles, you can definitely make the most of a lot of these weaknesses that some characters have in terms of, you know, the recoveries that they have or the ways that they have to punish. Like Marth is generally not as good in doubles because he has to rely on getting all of his hits. He can't just throw out hitboxes willy-nilly a lot of the time. I mean, he can do sometimes if he's trying to space out opponents. It's very good. But he's got, in singles, his combos are generally fairly slow, so you need to just be hitting them to your opponent constantly or just playing a spaced in game in teams. He doesn't have big, long, consistent combos in teams.
Alright.
You hear Jigglypuff has a slow... does come in quite slowly as well. You bat away the Jigglypuff. It has to take a few seconds to get back.
This third game here looking quite one-sided so far.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, that was a
That's
beautiful
a nice
team jump, combo.
All of a sudden, they might have a chance.
It's just, you know, with Marissa at such a high percentage here, it's gonna be difficult. You need to be very, very careful.
Maybe
that's
the rest
it.
might be on the puzzle, not quite.
Yeah, you know, at that stage, you might just be willing to trade the stocks because yours is just not that valuable anymore. But well, maybe Sinflower can pull this off. We already saw a 2 versus 1 victory. Of course, this one is a bit more difficult, considering there are 3 stocks in total that need taken. That's a little back air right there from the Sheik. Oh, beautiful pressure. Look at that. They're definitely both playing it very safe while getting just the necessary amounts of hits in to keep Sinflower on her toes. Although Sinflower, look at that.
Goes for the shield grab, that's the crossover.
That was beautiful pressure. Getting the crossover and then still staying safe.
They get right there. But yeah, the spacing around the Falco might have been a bit, might have been giving the Falco a bit too much respect.